Hello, Stefan here with Liquidity with a video about the difference between viel and viele. How do I say much and many in German? And this is a video in response to one of my subscribers. Thank you, DinoCat, for the suggestion. Liquidity. I hope you will like this video. If you do, please give it a like. And check out my other videos. If you see some videos that you like, please subscribe to my channel. I would love to see comments. I would love to see questions as well. So one of my subscribers, DinoCat, asked me the following question. So, viel and wenig are used for singular nouns and are not inflected, while viele and wenige are inflected. Why do these inflected versions sometimes appear in singular, like vielen Dank or mein weniges Geld? Are these just set idiomatic expressions to remember, or is there some logic when to use these? Excellent question. First of all, inflected, what does that mean? Inflected means that usually there's an ending to a word that modifies how it is used, how it functions within a sentence, what its meaning is. So for instance, case endings especially, but also conjugations. So for instance, in English, if I say he works, there's an S added to it. That's an inflection. So thanks again, DinoCat, for your excellent question. The short answer is this. Viel, which means much, or viele, which means many, or wenig, which means little, and wenige, which means few, are both inflected. They're both inflected. They're actually not static words that just stand by themselves. They're both inflected. One reason why they may seem like they're not inflected, especially viel and wenig, the singular one, is because the nominative and the accusative case are often identical. In fact, they are identical except for the masculine singular situation. So if I have a masculine singular noun, yes, you can see a difference between nominative and accusative, but the neutral and the feminine and the plural nouns they look identical. They're not identical, but they look identical in those two cases. In connection to the two words Dank and Geld, so thanks and money, both of those words are used in the singular in German, even though they connote plural, and in English, thanks is actually a plural noun, whereas in German it's a singular noun. You can't really have a plural of Dank in German. It's der Dank, and it doesn't make sense to have a plural for that word, actually. Money is a little bit more complex, so there is a plural for money, just as in English, monies, Gelder, das Geld, die Gelder. Das Geld just means the money. Die Gelder means the funds, just as in English when I would say money. So it's a little bit of a different word, actually, a different meaning of the word if I use it in the plural. So I'll just focus on the singular one since we're talking about actual money, right? Like the kind of money that all of us just spend on an everyday basis. Let's talk about your first example, vielen Dank. So, as I said before, unlike other languages where we actually use the plural for that word, in German it remains in the singular. So in English, for instance, we say many thanks. In Spanish, we would say muchas gracias. In Italian, we would say mille grazie. Those are all plural in those three languages, just as an example, because those are three languages I'm familiar with. In German, it remains in the singular. It's actually a masculine singular noun. Therefore, in the accusative, viel Dank, much thank, if I literally translate, that changes to vielen Dank. So when people say vielen Dank, they don't say a complete sentence, but the meaning of a whole sentence or the structure of a whole sentence is kind of implied. Therefore, it is in the accusative case because it would be the direct object. It is the thing that I give to somebody, right? Let's talk about the other example that DinoCat gave us, mein weniges Geld. So that means my little bit of money. Why is it weniges Geld? So when I have a possessive adjective like mein, dein, my, your, in German, if I add an adjective to that, I have to add an S to the adjective. In this video, I'm going to focus on viel and viele. Wenig and wenige follows the same pattern, so you can hopefully figure out, based on my discussion on viel and viele, how to use wenig and wenige. It follows the same pattern. So in English, I have two distinct words. Much is used for uncountables, any kind of dry goods or liquid goods that I can measure in terms of volume or in terms of weight, mass, but that I don't really count. The word many is used for countables, anything that I can count in terms of 1, 2, 3. So yes, there are 3 cats, so I can say many cats. It wouldn't make sense to say much cats. You can say much water or much honey or much flour is needed. In German, technically, I have only one word for that, viel. And you use viel in the singular for uncountables, very much like you would use the word much in English. And the plural version, viele, at least in the nominative, would be used for many. And by the way, very often when I use viel in German, I would not really use necessarily the word much in English. It just doesn't always translate very well. I might say a large quantity of or a large amount of. So let's go over some examples when in English I would say much or large quantity of, large amount of something when I use viel in the singular. So most important is the question word. How do I say how much? In German, I would say wie viel. So for instance, I could say, wie viel Geld hast du? How much money do you have? You might hear this one, zu viel Geld. Too much money. All right, let's look at some examples for many. So the plural of viel. So for instance, how do you say how many? You could say wie viele. So you could say, wie viele Hunde spielen im Park? How many dogs are playing in the park? How do you say too many dogs in German? Zu viele Hunde. I thought about giving you examples for all the different scenarios that could come up with viel, viele, but the truth is there would be at least 32 different scenarios, and this is exactly the kind of stuff that sucks the fun out of learning any language, especially German, because this is one of those situations where German is a little bit complex, unnecessarily, maybe so, arguably, right? German has 3 different genders. We have 4 different cases. There's a difference between the singular and plural usages, and then also there is a difference in whether I use a definite article or not. So 32 different scenarios. I'm not going to do that. It's unnecessarily complicated. I just want people to have some fun with languages. I want people to feel that they can enjoy exploring languages, not torture themselves or others with languages. That's not really what I'm into. I hope you enjoyed this video. Danke fürs Zuschauen. Thanks for watching. Take care. Mach's gut.